Hello! And welcome to Modern Media Review 52, the podcast that puts more effort and budget into its Christmas edition than TK Maxx put into their Christmas advert, you know, the one with the goat.
I do.
Which is definitely not a goat, as a G-O-A-T.
Greatest of all time, you mean?
Yeah.
Like, what, low budget, bargain basement stuff?
Yeah, it suits us, doesn't it? Suits TK Maxx. Anyway, I'm Robin Gibson.
And I'm Sean Gollogly.
And welcome, again, for the second time, to an extra long edition of Modern Media Review. Well, it might be extra long. We've just moved into Tier 4, haven't we? And we've really got nothing better to do than keep recording. Might be looking at a double album length kind of concept podcast here.
I like that, Robin. But I'd not even heard of Tier 4. I mean... It's slightly Kafkaesque, Robin. I guess, well, we certainly can't go out and buy Christmas presents anymore, which I shouldn't say, but probably is a boon for me.
It's a boon. Definitely a boon not having to buy Christmas presents.
But what isn't a boon is that if they do somehow resurrect Christmas, I'm a little bit stuffed because I always buy on Christmas Eve and I can't really do that anymore.
Well, for those listeners who are in that sad position, there's good news and bad news. The good news for anyone searching for a late Christmas present is that Modern Media Review has just been re-released on a 180-gram shaped vinyl as a 52-disc box set. And there are going to be special sleeve notes that'll be on actual sleeves. You can choose between denim, corduroy, or crushed velvet. And there'll be a free badge and a special set of 14 extra discs with all the outtakes, shitty bits, and bits where we were drunk and lost the thread of the conversation.
Not many of those, Robin. Not many of those.
That's what collectors want. You just ask Neil Young. And it's very reasonably priced, just below the latest Neil Young archive box set. £1,729.99. The bad news is that because of Tier 4, probably won't be able to go out and buy it.
I mean, £1,729.99 sounds like an absolute bargain to me, Robin.
It is.
And listen, it's not just like the outtakes are just the shite bits that were swept up with all the beer and general studio detritus, Robin.
No.
You know, and also, more importantly for people that do collect these things, is it completes your ownership fetish.
Yes.
In fact, while not wishing to give too much away pre-Christmas or pre-seasonal holiday to be politically correct, I've got something along those lines for you, Robin.
Oh, really? Thanks.
Ah, yeah. It's called Seminal Crass. The complete anthology. Loads of extras, including, old rice swept off the floor at Dial House. Unsurprisingly available in partnership and exclusively through Amazon for £1,500 and 5 pence. Sorted, Robin?
Great deal, but actually I'm ahead of you because there's already a crass Christmas present, which is their classic Merry Christmas track.
Oh, yes.
With the classic final line, if you're munching on your delicious turkey, I hope it fucking chokes you. Great stuff. Anyway, we're not really coming out on a 52-disc, 180-gram vinyl box set. And
More's the pity. More's the pity.
Really, because then we could make some money. But this low-quality digital edition here is still free. So on with the Christmas ads, really. Although I've got to say, I've got extremely bored with these Christmas ads. I mean, for the past 2 years, we've sort of faithfully dissected them and always disappointing trajectory of Kevin the Carrot. And now I'm bored.
Oh, Robin, when a man tires of Christmas ads, he tires of life. But, having said that, Kevin has changed, Robin, and not for the better. And also, surprisingly, being a vegetable, albeit with the power of speech and ability to drive massive rigs around the country, he's very pro-meat eating, almost to the exclusion of anything veggie.
Isn't that logical?
Yeah, I suppose it is. Self-preservation.
He doesn't want to be eaten.
The Aldi ad was a full-on carve-up. I mean, it looked like something from Henry VIII's Christmas bash. Meat. More even than your local carvery. You just needed, you just needed Lady Gaga coming in her meat dress to sort of like complete the scene.
I'm surprised it wasn't in there, but I suppose that the creatives who make these ads are getting burnt out even quicker and exited. That's the word for it, isn't it? Exited by their agencies to make way for more sort of naive ingenues who still believe in Santa Claus.
That is true. You do like your management speak, Robin, don't you?
Anyway, was there any ad that actually caught your attention this year, John? I mean, they all seemed a bit crummy to me. In the Argos Kids Magic Show, it was the sort of epitome of this new thing of this implausibly mass mixed race extended families that get together, before the bubble system clamped down. I mean, it's all a bit desperate. What happened to multiculturalism? Oh, well, actually, Sainsbury's tried that, didn't they? They picked the wrong culture.
It did remind me a little bit, that advert of, remember the old Coca-Cola ad, I'd like to make the world to sing.
Yeah.
Teach the world to sing. But I guess that was before they could all come to your country and drink Coca-Cola. But I thought the Argos one was a bit surreal, Robin. I don't know if you've seen that one, but
that's the one I just talked about.
The one that's set in the really plush theatre.
Yeah, with an implausibly mass mixed race extended family.
Well, that's what you saw about it. I thought that this plush theatre was much like maybe your average experience shopping in Argos. I mean, it certainly reminded me of mine, which is at the back of my local Sainsbury's on the Kiln Lane Trading Estate in Epsom. Now that's glamour,
That is glamour, isn't it? Yeah.
Maybe not so glamorous for the employees of Argos, because they're soon to be out of work with, I think, over 420 stores being closed.
They have to close the stores to save money so they could keep printing the catalogue, which I thought I read news that Argos were binning off the Book of Dreams, but it's actually in the ad. I wonder if that was one of those AstroTurf moments with a fake reprieve. Like when Whisper was meant to be campaigned for. Exactly,
which caused great consternation, didn't it? I must admit, I'd forgotten that the Book of Dreams was actually the Argos catalogue.
Well, you've missed out there.
I have missed out. I mean, I quite fancy a Book of Dreams, Robin.
Well, getting off this fraught topic of race representation, I noticed that World Wildlife Fund just went with elephants. Screw people. Adopt an elephant for Christmas. Who's got the room? And look at the carnage it causes in the street in the ad. It would total your house in about 10 minutes, wouldn't it? Leave the elephants in the basketball court, I say. It's like that old one where they used to ask you to adopt a snow leopard.
Ah, yes.
Rip your bloody head off.
Having watched it, it looked very dystopian. Burned out cars, crime everywhere. I suddenly realised that, hold on, it wasn't that. I'd read too much into this advert, and it was actually that the elephant had wrecked the place.
That's right.
I thought that they were showing modern London, obviously because it's lawless London, and this elephant was looking miserable and pissed off in the basketball court because it was so miserable living there.
It's all a bit confusing, because why is the elephant in the city anyway? Doesn't make any bloody sense, does it?
It doesn't. A bit like getting updates from your snow leopard, Robin.
They're vicious little bastards anyway. I don't know why anyone wants to adopt them.
I wouldn't want to adopt one, no. And certainly not an elephant.
They're vicious bastards as well, aren't they, elephants? Trampling your cars and getting
awful.
their trunks caught up in the basketball hoops.
Absolutely. Organising sort of like block parties and raves in Putney High Street.
They're ruining it for everyone, the elephants.
They are. But I think for me, the worst Christmas advert wasn't really a traditional ad at all.
No?
It was the one showing the NHS nurse getting a COVID vaccine jab live. I don't know if you saw that, Robin.
No.
Well, it was all going well until they jabbed her, and she started sort of swaying a little bit, swooning, and she said, "Oh, I'm feeling a bit dizzy," and then she passed out.
Heroin.
I'm not saying, but all I could say is this would have been grist to the mill for the anti-vaxxers, because, roll up for the great vaccine lottery. Everyone's a winner unless you get anaphylactic shock. I mean, don't get me wrong, Robin, I'm not advocating some anti-vaccine policy.
No.
Although, it seems that would make you a lot of new friends on social media.
Yes, I believe it does.
But it didn't get the whole vaccine programme off to a good start, I didn't think.
The whole programme's a bit of a myth, because they're saying they inoculated or vaccinated 500,000 people in the first week. If you multiply...
Very impressive.
It's
very
not,
impressive.
If you multiply that out, it would take 2.5 years to vaccinate the whole population.
So not world-beating.
No.
Well, I'm not getting into that. I mean, I think they're doing a fantastic job, Matt Hancock and all of them. I'll tell you the one that really I thought was quite weird was the postcode lottery advert. Have you seen that one?
No, I don't watch these postcode lottery ads because there's something weird. I don't trust it.
Well, hold on a minute. It's not a choice to watch it, Robin. It's a fucking advert.
I don't know how the postcode lottery works. It doesn't make any sense. Does everyone get like 50p if you win?
I believe that is it. But I was vaguely interested in this ad. I was watching online and it gave a viewer warning that its content could be inappropriate.
Wow.
Well, yeah, absolutely. But no.
Is it because of the gambling, right?
Well, this is, isn't this part of one of the true traditions of Christmas where we go all a bit sort of like Salvation Army about gambling? What's all that about? So you could stuff yourself stupid on Morinov vodka, Buckfast, tinnies, but woe betide the man that buys a lottery ticket and can't afford to feed his children.
Well, woe betide the man buying a postcode lottery ticket because he ain't going to get a big win, is he? Going to get 50p along with all his 374 neighbours in the street.
We used to have a reader on the Racing and Football Outlet who was a very kindly man, and at Christmas he wrote us a letter, Robin, saying that he had a vision of what the lottery winning numbers would be that week. George Crichton from Glasgow, and he said that he was going to share that with all the readers of RFO, which I thought was very selfless, except that there was a problem there. If he shared the winning lottery numbers with all of us, the dividend would be pretty small, unfortunately.
That's true, yeah. Anyway.
So a great idea, ruined by practicality.
Like Lego.
Absolutely like Lego.
I was watching the Lego advert and it's quite an acid trip, actually. But halfway through I thought, let's face it, this isn't actually Lego. Lego, right, is some bricks. These things you've got here are sophisticated toys and playthings that look like byproducts from Elon Musk's SpaceX factory. And you can probably get you to Mars just as well. Maybe it is him. We certainly explain the spliffed out nature of the ad. And the slogan for Lego is rebuild the world, which is exactly what he plans to do, isn't it? On Mars.
That is true. More practically speaking, Robin, Lego is massively expensive.
Is it?
Oh, man. I bought a nephew a matchbox of the stuff. I mean, it was so expensive that was basically all I could afford. It was like the cost of a kidney, basically. But he then mugged me off because it wasn't the Star Wars Death Star. I mean, I know. No wonder the kids in the advert are living in a mansion. I guess this is a bad thing to say. Watching them assembling their Lego Death Stars and Millennium Falcons while sitting in their mansion with their wood burner, was that while they were sitting in the massive sitting room, the wood burner is slowly poisoning them to death.
Lego's just a con, really, isn't it? I mean, as long as they stick a few of those little interlocking studs on anything, they could call it Lego. You know, robot sex dolls, cabbages, slippers, you name it. Just stick the little fuckers on somewhere and it's Lego.
Oh, Robin, you're showing your age here. You know, toys. Like the world, Robin, and like language, it has to evolve. No one's happy with a hoop and stick anymore. Get with it, man. Get a space hopper or a Rally Chopper.
We used to just get a block of wood.
I used to get a sock with an apple and a tangerine in it. The Asda one was supposed to be inoffensive.
That was just the usual thing, wasn't it? Like random family turkey sprouts.
Yeah, but it got my goat, and not in a greatest of all time way.
The agency that churned that out were in the pub at 11 a.m, weren't they?
Oh, I tell you what, they didn't spend much time on it, did they? They had some boss-eyed git surrounded by loads of kids. And he claims that this is what Christmas was all about. Well, yeah. No thank you, Asda, and thank you, Tier 4. The Costa Coffee ad, well, those guys are screwed, aren't they? I mean, wake up and smell the coffee, boys, you're out of business.
Well, it's interesting because I've got a friend whose daughter works at Costa Coffee and they're busier than ever because of drive-through. Yeah. She's getting an extra shift. Anyway, look, these ads are making me puke. I mean, I'm fed up with the Christmas ads. I mean, DFS, I've got Wallace and Gromit. That just about sums it up for me. We're back in sort of cosy Felicity Kendall territory here, aren't we? Everything I hate about England could be summed up by Wallace and Gromit. Twee Englishness.
Mind you, Kevin the Carrot's getting there, isn't he?
He's Irish, though. At least he's claiming to be Irish.
He is claiming to be Irish because, wait for it, he's ginger. I mean, that's some sort of ism, isn't it? And while we're at it, I'm writing 338 letters of complaint to the Guardian editor as we speak,
Okay,
mate.
okay, don't get overwrought about it. On that note, I think...
Well, no, hold on.
No,
Just
break off. You're going to write your letters to the Guardian about
Okay.
gingerism. I think, just let's say at this point, if anyone would like to write letters to us or send us a Christmas card, we'd be more than happy to receive them, because all feedback is welcome in it. And don't forget, you can leave a review or comments on any of the many platforms we are available on: YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, you name it, as I always say.
Very impressive.
And our website as well, modernmediareview.com. So go there before Christmas, listen, there's nothing else to do, like, and subscribe. And anyway, here's what the real Christmas ad should be. Kevin,
Okay.
who has utterly failed to fulfil the sort of dramatic promise of his early appearances,
True.
should give up on flying around in the private jet with the dim-witted turkey, get out and join the Royal Navy.
Ah, yes, now you're talking.
Although I suppose Aldi being German might cause a problem. But they're going to need Carrot Brawn in the upcoming bust up in the Channel, aren't they? Plus Carrot can see in the dark. Is that right? So
Yes.
it's going to make night attacks on the French easier.
Absolutely. I mean, is it surprising that a German firm are the only ones with the cash to push out pricey adverts at the moment?
Well, actually, there's some good adverts for the Royal Navy itself, I'd tell you. You know, they've got a theme, Born to Live in Poundland, made in the Royal Navy, something like that. You know, it's to appeal to people who, through no fault of their own, find themselves with fewer career choices than the average Etonian, and it seems to offer some sort of salvation in the Navy, as long as we're not actually at war. One of the Navy ads actually features one of my favourite rappers, Flohio, from London.
Who?
Flohio. She's a well-known street advocate of martial law and gunboat diplomacy.
Hence,
No, not really. I don't know how she ended up on there.
yeah, hence being used on the Royal Navy advert. Yeah, definitely. Mind you, it'd be a little bit different, wouldn't it? That advert for the Royal Navy. It could be born in Chipping Norton, made in Eton.
Yeah.
Although, I guess you don't end up on a COVID-infested boat there, though, do you? I mean, what happens is you get to be a cabinet minister supping late drinks at half price in the Palace of Westminster, whilst dishing out PPE contracts to your mates, maybe.
Well, yeah. You don't hear much in these ads about shelling French fishing boats, do you? Blowing the cod out of the water before the French can get their greasy mitts on them.
Garlicky mitts, mate.
I just did another look at that ad the other day, and it's mainly people running on the beach and playing five-a-side. Although they do have some machine guns, which is good.
Mind you, talking about the fish, I was thinking about them the other day, and do you think the fish are discussing Brexit while swimming about the North Sea?
Oh, yeah.
In their Union Jack waistcoats, by the way, Robin.
They'll be debating about who's going to fish them up.
Yeah, well, arguing with their berry-wearing or clog-wearing Eurofish about who should have the right to shred them and cover them in breadcrumbs. Anyway, any fish swimming about the North Sea in Euro waistcoats should be shot.
Where do you get this thing about fish wearing waistcoats?
Well, because they're our fish, aren't they? And how else would they identify themselves?
Yeah, but why waistcoats?
Well, because how else are they... I mean, they can't talk to us, so they've got to give some outward sign that they're our fish. Hence, Union Jack waistcoats.
Yeah, it's just an odd one, like, rather than trousers or jackets or hats. Why waistcoat?
Yeah, a tabard, you know, it appealed to me.
Anyway, yeah.
Anyway, I'll mainly be eating pheasant with soy sauce post-Brexit, and I'm sure that...
Yeah, and honey, grapes and wine.
Yeah, exactly, and I'm sure they'll be selling that in Poundland and Greggs.
Yeah.
Thinking about all this, really, obviously we are going to be world-beating nation, as we've shown already through this whole pandemic. I can't see any problems with us getting relegated from the so-called Premier League of fishing nations, Robin. Because I was watching a documentary the other day about the old GDR, East Germany in your language, and the great times they had under that regime. One stalwart of the old regime was saying that in the good old days of no choice in the supermarkets, they only had 3 types of cheese, 2 of which were rubbish. But as long as one was good, what more choice did you need?
Well, it's good. It helps to make your choice. There's too much choice in the capitalist world.
Absolutely. Less choice is what we need.
2 bad, 1 good, and you know exactly how to make your choice, don't you?
That leads me on the no choice aspect, Robin, to contracts and non-tendering we're getting from Her Majesty's government at the moment. And I was just thinking that the contracts for, obviously we're going to start a new cod war with Iceland, aren't we?
Yeah.
But I hope the company that gets the contract for building our new world-beating Royal Navy doesn't go to that lot who won the ferry contract without any ferry boats.
It won't work, will it?
No, there is a sort of flaw in the plan there.
Yeah.
And mind you, Dominic Raab will sort it out. He sounds like not like an over-promoted man. He says the Frenchies are getting zero access to our British fish.
Yeah, I think there may be a bit of hyperbole in that statement.
No, Robin, I quote you, zero access to British fish. So what we do is we round up all our British fish in their Union Jack waistcoats, yeah? And we're going to build a wall down the North Sea in and around the corner into the English Channel, and we'll herd all our British fish into this area. And any Frenchy fishes that try and get in there, mate, they'll have to pass a Britishness test.
Look, that's enough about fish. I mean, I know it's easy to get obsessed with them. I thought an interesting ad was It is, isn't it? It is.
I don't know yet. You haven't told me.
Well, everyone else seems to be obsessed with fish, don't they? It's the main point of Brexit, apparently, fish.
Yeah. The talk is of little else down my pub if it was open.
But there's an interesting ad, actually, I thought, which was in tune with the times, was the Tesco one, because they've acknowledged that it's been a shit year, so they're saying there's no naughty list, so you can get whatever you want.
Nice thought.
Or do whatever you want. I mean, that's leaving a lot of people a lot of room to manoeuvre, isn't it? It's been on telly for weeks, no wonder so many people have started breaking the law. Got to say, right, this year's left me filled with disgust and pity.
Okay.
Pity's mainly reserved for me.
The only person who it's important for, Robin.
You've got to indulge yourself at Christmas, haven't you? So there's no naughty list, you can do whatever you want.
That is true, and it lets a lot of people off the hook, really.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking, while it is quite a nice thought from Tesco's, were they thinking that maybe someone like Dominic Cummings, should he be on the naughty list? No vouchers for Specsavers. Dominic now, I mean, he's a bit of a loose end, isn't he? I mean,
yeah,
he could actually make a little trip. He would again be breaking the lockdown rules, but a little trip to Barnard Castle, little stroll on Boxing Day, perhaps. Or what about Boris? You can't put Boris on the naughty list, can you? What's he done wrong?
Nothing. He just hasn't done anything right either.
Well,
because he can't make up his mind to do anything, can he? In case someone doesn't like him for it.
Oh, are you going to take away his wine vouchers from Laithwaites? What about model Routemaster bus assembly kits?
Anything that keeps him out of public business is fine.
Well, and put it this way, he didn't promise it would all be over by Easter, did he?
No, not at all, no.
No, he didn't do that. He probably meant Easter 2022, perhaps.
What's a year or two?
Exactly. And no naughty list for Matt Hancock. He needs tissues, Robin. He needs tissues. Well, he does, doesn't he? Because have you ever seen a man cry so often?
No, but I feel sorry for him because he's just he's become the ultimate fall guy who's wheeled out to tell the truth after they've lied. Everyone else has lied till they're blue in the face, isn't he?
Perhaps, I mean, I got this wrong because I thought perhaps he thought he was on Piers Morgan's Life Stories every week and not the Andrew Marr show, you know? You know, Piers' show where you have to go on there and weep over anything, otherwise you don't get your fee. I think perhaps you're being too kind to him, Robin, because I think it's more likely he's weeping for his shredded credibility and career.
That too.
Now, the naughty list being banished is a nice idea, but one person or a group of people, I don't know what you call it, a group of COVID oligarchs, they need to be on the naughty list, mate.
Yeah.
They do, because they're making money hand over fist.
Yeah, Jeff Bezos, yeah.
But maybe I'm being a bit harsh on them, really, because...
Zoom.
Yeah, all these COVID oligarchs did was pop round next door to borrow a cup of sugar off Matt Hancock, mate, by the way, and got handed a multi-million-pound PPE contract. No questions asked. I'm surprised they don't bring back a Christmas special for Only Fools and Horses where, Del Boy thinks about his latest, get-rich-quick scheme. And instead of sort of like flogging watches to somebody, it's flogging PPE to HMG.
I was thinking you can't really concentrate on the Christmas ads this year because they're peppered in between with COVID ads from the government telling you to eat your Christmas dinner outside and keep your granny in the chest freezer, just to be on the safe side. Actually, all this seems very weighted towards grannies, doesn't it? You never hear anything about the granddads, do you? Well, no one think of the granddads.
Well, I think the granddads always die first, don't they?
That's true, yeah, life expectancy for men's shorter, isn't it? And then when those ads are finished, you get more government ads like saying time is running out. Brexit ads.
Too right, mate.
Telling you to get ready.
Yeah, too right, time's running out.
What's your trade? Are you ready?
Well, I'd like to think that... do you remember when we did the podcast about being an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
Well, I was reading about the COVID oligarchs the other day, Robin, and I'm CEO of my own startup company.
Oh, really? That was quick.
Ah, yes. Yeah, transport logistics, mate. I've got no experience and zero lorries, Robin, but unlike former Brexit Secretary Dominic Raab, mate, who once famously said he hadn't quite understood how reliant UK trade was on goods going across Dover-Calais way.
Yeah, well, it's an easy thing to overlook.
It is. Now, the difference between him and me is that I know that I know that Dover is quite an important...
COVID, it's all merged into one now, isn't it?
Well, I know that it's quite an important transport hub.
Yeah.
And I once saw Boris Johnson in the wine aisle at my local Tesco Metro, so I'm confident of landing a few post-Brexit contracts, mate. You know, maybe for a few billion quid.
Yeah.
Isn't that what you do on the back of a fag packet?
Yeah.
And never mind my logistics. I've set up another one while I was at it. I had spare 15 minutes the other day while I was watching the racing. I've also launched Gunboats Are Us. You like that one?
Yeah, it's great, yeah.
It is, I like it. I was pleased with that.
Have you got any shipbuilding expertise?
No, of course not. But you don't need it. As Michael Gove said, who needs experts, Robin?
Not when time is running out. And I'll tell you what, that guy I saw on Channel 4 News in a lorry the other day saying he'd been there for 6 hours. Or maybe it was 6 days, I can't remember.
6 weeks more like.
Time's already run out for him. Let's hope he's not delivering your plush Kevin the Carrot toy, Sean.
Let's hope that he hasn't chucked it out with his bags of excrement.
Oh, no. Well, I think on that note, it's probably time to call a halt for the year. I've got some deliveries coming to the door. Hopefully not excrement. Although some of them were ordered from Aldi, so you never tell. No, actually,
what?
That's unfair. The products are very good.
Exactly.
So let's say Merry Christmas. Thanks for listening.
Absolutely.
And don't throw any bags of excrement at us. And we'll see you in 2021. No, we won't.
What?
Yes, we will.
Why not?
Because it's 2021 next year, so we will. Sorry, I was getting a year ahead. I was looking forward to the great tier release in 2022. We're skipping a year. Great stuff. See you.
Okay, I'd see you. Thanks for that.
Goodbye.